All right, greetings, beautiful people. So, as you can see, I've been trying to. Right now, it's about 4:40 p.m. All right, where I'm at over here in North Carolina. So I've been trying to get my camera, but I haven't had a chance to come home and get it. So I'm finally home. I love these beautiful clear days. Today's Sunday. I guess people who usually spray the skies are off today because today is Sunday. But the reason I want to make this video is because right now, like I said, it's about 4:40, I think it is. I don't remember. But I've been seeing the moon since I would say I've been seeing the moon since like 1 p.m. today. You know what I mean? And I'm sure it's been there the entire time, like it never left. You know what I mean? I'm sure that the moon has been here since last night, and it has never left. And the sun beaming beautifully. All right, it's a beautiful day. I'm gonna turn the camera over at me. Just zoom out real quick. Make sure I'm at 0. Oh wait, I'm zooming in. Sorry, let me zoom out. I mean, yeah, whatever. You get what I'm saying. All right, we're focusing in, and hold up. All right, so check this out. All right, if you saw the moon, or if you can see the moon, all right, the moon, all right, is able to be in our point of view, whether it's day or night, it doesn't matter, right? Yet the sun, we can only see it only during the day. You would never see the sun at night. That would be like impossible. You know what I mean? And if we did see the sun at night, there would be no night. There would be no darkness. But it's funny how the moon we can see day and night, right? Now we also see, I'm not going to get into the revolutions of like, the planets and all that, because there's different revolutions, different sizes of the planets, from like the moon, the sun in comparison to the earth and all that. But if you know, everything is so perfectly aligned that you could see that whenever we have eclipses, they align so perfectly where it'll literally cover, like when we have lunar or solar eclipses, they cover each other perfectly to fit, within each other's shape and size. Okay. But here's the point of this video, because that has nothing to do with that. The point that I'm trying to make here is, and I'm gonna put the camera around again so you guys can see the moon. Okay, so check out the moon. All right, here's the crazy thing with the moon. All right, at nighttime you could tell it has a light. You know what I mean? It's illuminated beautifully. Okay, but yet during the day it looks kind of dull. It looks almost powerless, right? Almost powerless. Sorry I can't focus, but give me a second. All right, there you go. So it almost looks powerless. It almost looks transparent though. You know what I'm saying? Now we can only see one side of the moon. We don't see the other side of the moon. The moon never rotates. You know what I mean? We can only see one face. Now, you know how we got in religion? Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Okay, now we know, here's the thing. They say that the moon, all right, has different revolutions and blah, 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 or whatnot. Different speeds of rotation. Revolutions around the earth, okay? And I'm not even going to get into that because, there's different ways you can, like, different, people talk about, we revolve around the sun, or the sun revolves around us, whatever. But the moon, all right, if you look at the moon, it looks like it's coming in and out of existence from one dimension to another. You know what I mean? So you know how you can see ghosts, you can see them going through walls, you can see them, and we can only see them basically mostly at night. And if we were to see them during the day, I believe that we would see them in such a way as to how the moon looks, which is like kind of transparent in the same way. We talk about Holy Spirit. What about when it's the new moon? You know what I mean? Is that the Holy Spirit? You know what I mean? Not saying that this is fact, but this is something I was just thinking about as I'm driving, because I'm kind of like always looking up at the sky, trying to keep my, I'm always pretty conscious and aware of my surroundings now. But the moon looks very, very interesting. And I love these, like, clear days, but it almost looks, if you really like focus on it and just stare at the moon for a little while, even just in the screen, it almost looks like half of it is in another existence, in another dimension. You know what I mean? So you know how you can't see the 4th, 5th, 6th dimension? You can't see that. So when we have the power of the moon at full moon, all right, this is where you can, you could start to do magic. You got mysticism. And when it's a new moon, you know what I mean? It looks like it's probably a portal, you know what I mean? Like a hole. A hole. And if you look at the word hole, you got the word hole. You could spell it H-O-L-E, or you could spell hole as a whole, you know what I mean? With the W in front of it. You know what I mean? So you can probably say it's a hole, or is it really the whole? You know what I mean? The whole, the entire thing. All right. Is the entire thing really when it's all visible, or is the entire thing really when it's a whole? Because it's the whole. Instead of H-O-L-E, it's the whole, W-H-O-L-E. All right. But, this is why, notice how you could see the moon, whether it's day or night. It doesn't matter. You can see it day or night. All right. And I find that to be pretty interesting. And just stare at it. It just looks like half of it is just in some other space. You know what I mean? And then the other half is here when it comes into, existence, where you can see the whole thing. It's literally probably harnessed power from a metaphysical realm, and then when it's here present, it's present for us to utilize it as a tool, the same way we utilize the sun as a tool. This is the feminine energy, right? We have Father, Son, and then Holy Spirit. Is this why they call it Holy Spirit? Is it Holy Spirit? Because we already know we are technically, the Son is our son, you know what I mean? And we are the Father's, but, you know what I mean? Even just that word, you have the word Father, but then you just with the H there, the H is always silent in a lot of words. And if you take that word, the H out, and you look up the word fatter, you know what I mean? That has its own meaning in many different ways. You could look at it in Alemannic German. You could look at it in Latin. You could look at it up in English, Polish. I mean, it's got literally etymologies to it. The etymology, it really comes from, like, you've seen the word Vader. You know what I mean? If you look at it, just to give you an example, for the Alemannic German, literally the word fatter or fater, because fatter, when somebody's fat, like physically fatter, it's F-A-T-T-E-R. But the word fatter, it's just taking the H out and it's F-A-T-E-R. And fater comes from the word Vader. You know what I mean? So we have a Darth Vader, you know what I mean, in Star Wars, like a dark, because there's the H again when you see Darth, you know? There's a lot of ways to look at it, you know what I mean? But just looking at the moon, man, and then, Vater, sun, the sun, S-O-N, or is it S-U-N? You know what I mean? Because everything's always masculinized. And, this is why we are in a patriarchal system, which if we start to really break these words, we can start to really, this is, to me, is the key to breaking out of this matrix, is really knowing the code, the language, and you can start deciphering numbers and letters and all that, and it's going to start to make a lot of sense to you, because it's been working for me in that way. But the moon, well, let me get back to what I was saying. So Vater, the sun, so far, if you look up the meaning of the word father or fatter or fader or Vader, you know what I mean? Many different meanings there. It could be masculine or feminine. If you look at the word masculine alone, I know a lot of people arguing, saying, oh, but matrix, matter, material. The word ma is because it's a feminine aspect. But if you look at the word masculine, masculine starts with ma too. You know what I mean? So that's why I said there's many different ways to look at it. So, you have Vater, the sun, S-U-N. So far, we got nothing there, which is correlating with what we look at as man or woman. Is just energies, you know what I mean? And then Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit. But get the religion mentality out of it and just look at it in just basic common sense, breaking down words, what they actually mean. You know what I mean? It could mean the whole is the holy. And, you know, when it's in a new moon, you know, we don't see it there, but it's there, but we don't see it because it's like in another dimension. But that's why we would look at the moon as like, oh, it's, you know, only here when it's like when you could see it. But, you know, the moment it's coming back from being a new moon, you would see the first crescent, which looks like a C, you know? So that's, let me turn the camera over and let me zoom back in. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm having a lot of fun breaking down words and, you know, deciphering shit. And I'm not even just looking for it. Sometimes I'm just going about my day and certain things just present themselves. Like I just happened to be driving, I'll look at the moon and I'm like, fuck. And it just looked interesting to me and it inspired me to make this video. You know what I mean? The sun is a tool. The moon is a tool. I don't care how you want to look at it. You know what I mean? Dark magic, white magic. I mean, you zigzag, and you know what? You're the eye of the storm, okay? You stay in the middle, and you can utilize all these energies to your advantage. You know what I mean? And people, places, and things, you can start manipulating that to your advantage. Everything is just an illusion out here, you know what I mean? But it all comes down to source. All this you see outside of yourself, all right, is literally all within. You could tap into all these energies, but a lot of people, see, that's why the media will have you medium, you know what I mean? And we have alternative media, you know what I mean? But we don't utilize our inner, you know what I mean? Our inner source. See, here's the thing. We always look to progress in life. You know what I mean? We look to progress. The word gress alone, gress means step, right? So progress means to move forward, right? And then we have the word aggressive, but we look at that as a bad word. You know what I mean? When we need a certain type of aggression to even have because an aggression is a strong energy, you know what I mean? But they'll make it look like it's bad. That's why even in religion, they'll tell you, oh, you know, when Jesus, you know, turned the other cheek, you know what I mean? And this is why even in the concentration camps back in the Nazi days, they gave the prisoners fluoride to keep them more docile. You know what I mean? So that's why they suppress that aggression and they make you seem like it's bad. Like, you know how you have an intent, you go within, right? And then you have attention, which from where you're at, you're paying attention from a specific point and space that you're at. But then when you're attending, it's attend. Now your physical vessel is attending a function or an event. You know what I mean? So if you look at the word progress, that's to move forward. You know what I mean? But you have to start with an ingression. So you ingress. Then you have the aggress, like an attend. Like aggress to me is just like attending something. You know what I mean? So you physically make it happen and then you progress from there. You know what I mean? Don't believe nothing. Just break words down and start to make sense out of it. You know what I mean? It's going to start to connect dots for you. You know? Everything that's outside of you starts from within. Ingress, intent. Okay? It's all gonna go, it starts from the blueprint, which is the darkness. Now, we can see the moon, right? But when does it shine? It shines and because I don't want to hear this shit about the sun illuminating the fucking moon or whatnot, because I don't even fucking believe that shit. But the moon shines at night when it's dark, when the sun is gone. So right here, we utilize the sun, all right, which is giving us the light. And we utilize those organic light codes to our advantage. And then, you know, we work with the moon at night. I mean, I'm looking at the moon right now, but just staring at it, I'm telling you, man, it puts you in a meditative state, even if it's during the day. You know what I mean? And it's crazy how they do all these chemtrails, and I think it's just blocking you to keep you from even looking up. Because why would you, when you look up and you just see like a bunch of filmy clouds, does it even inspire you or influence you to look up? You know what I mean? Like right now, the sky is so clear. I'm looking at the moon clear as day. The sun is beaming so clearly. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. Look, I'm outside and the sun is just bright, man. It's just super, super bright. And it inspires you to, and it influences you to look up. You know what I mean? You could see everything. You could see the birds. You could see just energies. You know what I mean? Like, I'll stand like right above the sun. You know what I mean? Just make sure I could try to angle this. Okay, and it's just beautiful. You know what I mean? It's beautiful. So the way I see it is like this. All right, utilize everything is a tool. Everything is a tool. All right, I've made videos on like everything outside of you, businesses, like just jobs. I just saw a video with the Mind Jin Abaddon. He broke down you know, basically business management. I made a video on energy management. You know what I mean? And he put his perspective and his twist on things, and it's like everybody has bright things to build on. You know what I mean? And everybody's a tool, man. Everything's a tool. Utilize it to your advantage, but clean the vessel. This is why I'm so I tell you, man, it's so important to clean the vessel, because when you clean the vessel, all right, you can make sense of things more. You got clear senses. You see, we already know, you know, the stomach has neurons. It has like all these like nerves. That's why you see you got a gut feeling. You know what I mean? Have a clear intuition. But that's going into another topic. I don't want to make this video long. The point of this video was to pretty much, and I don't know why this looks so blurry over here, but okay. So, and it's probably me spitting all over this shit, because that's what happens when you get passionate and fucking intense like I do, because that's why I'm Mr. Intensity. I be spitting all over this shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And I didn't even realize I say that a lot. So I'm watching the Mind Jin Abaddon's video, and I noticed he pointed that out. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But even the word mean, if you notice, you say, do you know what I mean? Mean has many words, has many meanings too. Mean could be a mean person, right? Mean could be medium, a median, right? And you know, when you have a mean is medium, middle, right? So if I speak from my heart, right, and I'm speaking from my heart, and I'm putting out the vibrations, what's my medium, right? I'm utilizing my vessel as a medium. You notice how you have psychic people they're called mediums, because they communicate with the dead. If they do necromancy or whatnot, they communicate with dead people. But how do they communicate with dead people, right? They'll communicate with dead people, right? And they'll let you know what they are communicating with that dead person through you, and then you relay that message to the person who wants to know what's going on. But you're used as a medium. That's why they use the word medium. You're a median. So that's why, like, even if I speak to you from the heart and you hear, do you know what I mean? That's me. That's me utilizing my vessel. But a lot of people are unconscious to even the words they use. So yeah, that's what that means, and that's probably why I say that a lot. You know what I mean? So like, share, and subscribe. You know, and listen to everything with an open mind. That's the key, because here's the word, even thinking. Do you know that the H, there's the H again that I was telling you about, the H, the Father, and I'll cut this video after this because this is important, but listen, look up the word. Matter of fact, I got it right here because I was looking this up before. Tinking, if you take the H out, it says tinking. Now to tink, you want to hear something interesting? Check this out. Tink, undo a row of knitting, one stitch at a time, in order to correct a mistake. I'll show you what this means right here. So I'm telling you, I look up words. I'm playing around with these words, man. This ain't no fucking game. So check this out. Tink. Undo a row of knitting, one stitch at a time, in order to correct a mistake, right? But what happens when you think, right? So if you think, you're adding that H in there. Aren't you creating a fucking knot every time you think, if you're thinking the wrong shits? You know what I mean? Or if you're letting thoughts take over you, right? So you tink, and then what do? You tinkle, right? When you take a piss, I look up the word tinkle, right? And that means, over here, make or cause to make a light. So when you tinkle, right? And British come from Britain too. And look at this. Informal, right? Is a British, an act of urinating. But look at that word act. Because you're acting, everything you do, you're acting. I don't care if you're taking a piss, you're taking a shit. If you're getting emotional about something, you're acting. You're acting. You're on a stage. That's why you go through levels. You go through stages of life. You know what I mean? Oh, I was in a different stage of life. You get what I'm saying? That's why they say these words are thrown in your face. You just don't really, you take it for what you were indoctrinated and what you were programmed to know what those words mean. I already mentioned this before. That's why when you get arrested, they say you have the right to remain silent. Because you know why? They know the system because they are the system, and they can use the word you use, but they let you know that you have a right to remain silent. You know what I mean? But then if you use the words wrong, that's why you get incriminated, right? Incriminate. That means you criminalized yourself. Incriminate, right? And that's why you have the right to remain silent. Because if you use the wrong word, one word has so many meanings. And if you utilize that word wrong, turn the shit over. If you utilize that word wrong, you incriminate yourself. But they let you know that, because you see the game, for it to be fair, they'll let you know that you have the right to do something, and they'll let you know, like everything's always in language. Like if somebody was to say, how could you, like, let's say if the world woke up, right? And they said, well, you know, why is it that this is happening? They could turn around and say, hey, we let you know through language. We let you know through movies. We let you know through the news. We let you know through everything. We put out even fucking conspiracy theories that we fucking put out to let you know this shit. It's just that you motherfuckers are too stupid to decipher it. You get what I'm saying? So the devil always has to let you know what it's doing, right? It's up to you to decipher it and see what's going on. See, that's the whole key. So this is why it's important, if you have a busy life, to put some time into, you know, your work, your self-worth. Worth. What is your net worth, right? Your net worth is what energies you are investing in, what energies you have harnessed. That's where your real net worth is, because you got to work the net, right? You network. People think network. Network is getting to know more energies, attracting more energies, because people are energy, right? So you work the net, but your net worth. Your net worth is also physical, and it's also your spiritual, metaphysical energy. So as within, so without, man. All you got to do is look at the way everything is ran outside of you and compare it to what you're doing metaphysically. And if you change it metaphysically, your physically will look a lot different. Look at that. You see, I start to fucking spit. I mean, whatever, man. I don't want to make this video long, but, you know, if anybody has any questions, please leave them in the comments. You know, I'm going to look at the moon a little bit more, but I encourage you guys to look at the moon a little bit more. And especially if it's out during the day, it makes you feel a certain way. You know what I mean? And then, you know, do some sun gazing. I'm going to do some sun gazing because, you know, the sun is clear as hell today. And I said clear as hell. You notice how they say clear as hell, you know, hot as hell. And is hell really even hot? Right? Because look at it, when it's like blistering winters, everything is dormant, right? Nothing, there's no life out. You know what I mean? And it's not like life is dead. Life is just dormant. It's just like your DNA. Your DNA is dormant. You know what I mean? We look at it as junk DNA, but it's not really junk DNA. Nothing is really junk or dead. It's just dormant. So you got to wake up and, you know, get to a certain degree. Because when the degrees go up, the vibration is higher, and this is where you start to see life, right? Because technically with temperature, temperament, right? Vibrate like water. When you boil water, it vibrates higher. The molecules spread apart. You become lighter, right? Because you are water, and you would start to, you know, you raise the temperature, you raise your frequency and vibration, and then now you start to, now you have life. Life is flourished now. You know what I mean? Listen, just pay attention to the words, you know. But yeah, like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and we'll chat soon.